Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Now? All right, so type when you can hear me. So ones if you hear me now. Okay, so I'm going to assume one is the case. So there's a button and it doesn't give me a clear indication if the mic is on or not. One, okay, sick. Thank you for catching on to what I was doing. So like I said, I prepared some notes for today. So we'll go through those and then we'll start talking to some folks here. So as you can see, it's quite poppin'. And then actually, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. There's a bit of division about whether or not we're kind of following along with the spirit of what this event was meant to be or what it initially represented. And to understand that a little bit better, we're probably going to need to talk about what this event used to be. So this all kind of goes back to the US, as most interesting things do. So on May 4th, there was something called the Haymarket Affair. And just prior to that, on May 1st, which is today, of course, there was a planned general strike all across different cities in the United States aimed at securing an 8-hour work day, among other things. So the idea was we wanted to have an 8-hour work day. This was at the McCormick factory in Chicago when this happened. Now, the McCormick workers got really upset because what ended up happening is they're asking for things like an 8-hour work week, and what happens? The people that crossed the picket lines on the strike day were given all of the demands that the workers who were picketing had, and that pissed them off. So the workers that were picketing went ahead and attacked the workers who, the workers who would cross the picket lines. And then the police got involved, some people got shot. This was very upsetting. So 3 days later, on the 4th, they decided that they would hold another kind of rally. This time it would be in a square that was in a very busy commercial district for all the workers to join up at. And there they had some political speeches and things like that going on about how cruel the situation was and all that. At this event that happened on May 4th, that's when our Haymarket Affair happened. So shortly after saying some very heated things up on stage, the police said, hey, this event's over, it's 10:30 at night, clear out. And as the police started to move in, a bomb was thrown into the crowd, and 7 police officers were killed in that instant. And then the police, not knowing who to blame, because at events like this, there are often anarchists and far left people mixed up with the people who are a part of the union or who are workers. And so blaming the anarchists and blaming the organizers at the event, the police opened fire on the crowd and shot a bunch of people. And so turned into this whole thing that we call the Haymarket Affair. After that, there was a super duper shitty trial where they tried 8 of the people that they suspected had some involvement, including the organizers. But those suspicions were kind of unfounded because, as it turned out, some of the people who they put on trial didn't even show up to the meeting about the event. So, this is a kind of, not a great trial. 4 people were hung as a result of it. 1 person suicided, and then 2 more people had to be let go by the governor of Illinois because public outrage over this kind of kangaroo court trial kind of grew, and he couldn't ignore it anymore. So that's kind of the Haymarket situation. Now in Denmark, things are a little bit different. So in 1890, they had the very first one at this park, at Filden Park, and the Danes were fighting for many of the same things that the people across the ocean in the States were. They wanted an 8-hour work week, they wanted more, safe conditions in the workplace, and the Danes kept fighting until 1920, when they finally got their 8-hour work day. Now, today, it's a really important platform for people that are on the lefterly side of politics. So we're probably going to see a lot of politicians here. They give speeches. We're going to see a lot of union organizers. This is actually an opportunity for many of the left-wing politicians to talk to union organizers and to talk to union workers and kind of, live up to the solidarity thing that these events are meant to represent. But that brings me to another topic, is what this event represents today. So there's a little bit of dispute among people about whether or not this event is really what it ought to be. There are a lot of people here that are just here to spend the day, chill out on blankets as we see here, have some beers, and enjoy a day off when it doesn't happen on a Sunday like it is this year. So lots and lots of people are kind of losing the meaning, losing the history, losing the purpose behind something like this. They're not really here for workers' solidarity. They're here to chill out and enjoy, a wonderful spring day in Copenhagen. So that's kind of something that I want to talk with more people about today. We'll also be going to some of the organizer people at the event, or at the tents, and talking with them, because they're probably going to be educated on a lot more stuff. And that's the plan, Stan. Another thing you're probably going to be seeing a lot of here, and to my American friends, you may not understand what this means, are the red flags. So red flags, they can symbolize a lot of stuff. They can be socialism, they can be Marxism, communism, unions, left-wing politics in general. They got a history, and that's why they can represent so many things. So originally, the red flags used to be hoisted up on a ship when that ship intended to fight to the death. So they would be an indication that, the will is strong here, and we're not going to surrender, and beyond that, we're going to fight to the last man. Now, the Jacobins, during the French Revolution, commandeered this symbolism, and they used it to represent their willingness to martyr for their movement. So the Jacobins used the red flag to symbolize how much they were willing to fight for the people against, all the higher-ups in France. And then, as things started to swing in their favor, and we had, the nasty part of the end of the French Revolution, it represented the willingness to engage in martial law for the people and do some terrible things against the higher-ups. So from there, it was adopted by workers who are fed up and want to fight for the people, and communists and Marxists and all sorts of other groups. So it's a flag that means a lot of things to a lot of people. Here, you can see they're all over the stage over there. And oftentimes the politicians will put it up if they want to do a political speech to indicate to everybody what's going on. And that's something that more or less you'll see quite a bit of here. It's important to kind of know what that means. So that's about it. And another thing we might hear later is going to be the anthem around these red flags. And the anthem is titled "When I See a Red Flag" in English. And so we might have some people singing that. We might ask the people to sing it, put it in a YouTube compilation of sorts or something. I don't know. We'll kind of see what turns out here. Is not the international? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Today will be a day where I don't engage with you guys too much. Today will be a day where I'm mostly focused on talking to other people and capturing cool stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the other end of this event, which I've been kind of walking my way towards. Then we'll zigzag through it till we run out of power, and that'll be that. And again, you'll see a lot of people drinking and having fun or laying out on blankets. The weather here sucks most of the year. Not sure what's going on here. Hello. Interesting. Dinosaur people. Now, like I kind of explained before, there is this ongoing conversation about how this event is kind of strode off the path of what it was meant to be. And I think the dinosaur guy with the backpack with the boombox dancing around is probably somewhat indicative of that. They're representing the Dino Party? Nice. Okay. Well, I'm ignorant of Denmark politics, so maybe I missed it. I don't know what was going on there. Monk ass. I guess Gauru culture is popular here as well. Hold on, let me extend my dingleberry here, because we've got our second microphone. This is going to be the jewel of content. Can I see my LED? There we are. Test, test, 1, 2. What event are you at? Today we're at the Workers' Day in Denmark, Copenhagen. I'm at the event that is at Park. I may pronounce that wrong. Please forgive me, Danes. Your language is incredibly difficult, and I think if there's an actual Danish person in the audience, they probably realize that more than the average random viewer from somewhere else. So I'm pretty sure I'm fine, but worth remarking upon. Yeah, it's essentially like Labor Day. So yeah, that's all the history. If anybody else joins and they want information about the history, tell them to rewind to the beginning of the VOD. They can catch all that. Yeah, yummy food and all sorts of other ish all over. Looks like this continues down there, but I won't go down there. Dane here. Oh, smiley face. Hey, what's up, dude? Love your country. These are so cute, by the way. These little like tricycles that they put all the food on. They're adorable. Okay. How's the angle? You guys see everything you want to see, or? Oh, look, another giraffe off in the distance. Another giraffe bouncer thing. Wow, there's a whole amusement park over there. How do you like it in Denmark? I like it a lot. Let's kind of let's try to get this bad boy working, okay? The vista is good? All right. Está bien. So let's try and make our way into the main event here. Something impossible. I should make the chat a little bit bigger, huh? What do you guys think? Do you want the chat to be a little bit bigger? I feel like it's wide, but it's not like tall enough to read really. Oh shit! Don't want to look in that direction. Okay, I'm gonna go around here, go on the left, and then get started. Chat, you saw nothing. Chatter representation. Okay. I mean, I can adjust it. One sec. Whoops! Oh, they're going this way. Okay. Editor. Okay, let me adjust this. How about that? Go backstage? I think I won't. I think that I won't. Gnarly. Oh look, we got a fountain over here. Chat made me do it. What did they make you do? Also, it doesn't look like there's anything going on at this stage. Lots of red flags though. And if you guys see me in the Pokemon jacket, feel free to say hi. I wouldn't mind. We'll go through here. There's still just like 1.5 messages showing up. I don't know how to fix that. I'm so sorry. I mean, I can make them go up the side of the screen. Is that preferable to you? Here, I'll just do that. Edit. Let's go to editor, chat box. Wow, that just really doesn't work. The scaling is off on the app. Oh. Wait, why is it in the middle of the screen now?
Derfor er det også en stor fornøjelse i dag at byde velkommen til Grete Christensen, formand i Dansk Sygeplejeråd. Grete, værsgo.
Tusind tak skal I have, og hvor har jeg glædet mig til det her øjeblik, hvor jeg kan få lov til at stå i dag på 1. maj, og ikke alene være glad for at kunne tale for alle jer.
I don't know why this works this way. Oh man, we're fucked.
For de fællesskaber, som fagbevægelsen har stået på nu i rigtig mange år. Vi står på en fantastisk historie, og vi står på nogle fantastiske erfaringer.
This is the best you get in chat. Whoever requested the chat be a different size, now you have no chat. Now you have an uber small chat that I can't read. Congrats. Hope you're proud of yourself. Hope you're proud of yourself, chat. All right. I'm trying to figure out what is food and what is like political stuff. I think this is political stuff. Honestly, we had a good start at the very beginning with places to go, and now we're. Let me see. Nope, this is beer and stuff, I believe. Nope, beer. Okay. Goodness gracious. We'll walk through the middle here.
Der er ikke lige løn for lige arbejde. Og de kvindedominerede fag, hvor man i dag lige så godt kan hedde Rasmus som Pernille, der får vi en lavere løn for det samme arbejde. Lige løn betyder samme løn for arbejde og samme værdi. Men hvorfor er det, at pædagogen, der passer dine børn, bioanalytikeren, der har analyseret dine coronaprøver, sygeplejersken, der står ved din side,
I don't know if it might be that all of the political places are selling food and beer, but I doubt it. Let me try to get past all this here. Go this way. What is going on here? Definitely not politics. So. It's interesting how at an event like this, it is so difficult to find the political stuff. I think we may have just found ourselves in the food area. I'll try to move past it here. There's this. Next, Thai food. Yeah, should we talk to the people at the Thai food? It's very awkward, the open air urinals. But yeah, as you can see, just lots of people chilling out on blankets. Doo-doo-doo. And then this spot's just huge and open. Yeah, I'm beginning to think that was food area. But I may be huffing copium because over here it looks like it's just food as well. You know what? We'll make our way back to the beginning where we started from, and I'll cut through here so you guys have some interesting footage, and if you want to peel through it and look for people doing goofy shit, you can. And then I'll ask the people at the beginning who I was speaking to before the event kind of where to go. That's what I think I'll do. Also, let me turn my chat window on so I can see. Do note that price is tips included and taxes. Yes. Yes, it is. Also, sorry to anybody here who's like, dude, why aren't you on YouTube? It's this app. I don't know what to tell you. I logged out and back into YouTube. I updated the app. no luck with getting the YouTube to work. So unfortunate though that may be, I kind of don't have any better options right now. If we're able to save a bit more, then I can get the $800 encoder setup thingy, and then I can just throw this to my PC back at home and stream off of that. But until then, you're gonna have to deal with the Streamlabs app to get with Streamlabs what looks identical. The folks here, and then you hear them talk and you're like, oh look, Asian food. Well, this looks like some anti-racism stuff here. All revolutions are impossible until they become inevitable. Well, the Hopium mindset. Very cool. Marxist merch? Yeah. Let's see.
Det er alle dyr, hvor jagtsæsonen aldrig slutter. Den type af ledelse skal vi til livs, hvis vi vil et ordentligt arbejdsmarked. Jo mere vi som arbejdstager står sammen i kampen for bedre rammer for vores virke.
Marxist.twitch? Yeah, you could go there and learn more about it.
At vores arbejdsmarked i fremtiden ikke kun er for de få,
interesting.
Så de kan opdrage og åbne.
See if we can get around here.
Giv Thomas en kæmpe hånd!
Hello.
Den næste taler, som vil gerne vil byde velkommen, er Johan Horskov Pellingsen.
If you like what
Han er
you see,
medlem af RS, medlem af marxistiske studerende.
Okay. Would you be interested in doing like a little interview or anything? Okay. Oops. Let's get this turned around. There we go. If you want to hold this and talk into this, you can.
where are you from?
I'm from California. Basically, I travel around the world. I go to different places, like a new country every month, and then I try to talk to the people, learn about like the politics, the culture. I was very lucky to come here when May Day is happening.
A lot of
So
politics going on.
yeah. What brings you here? Like, do you represent a like political party or?
Yeah, we are kind of a political organization, and we are the revolutionary socialists. So a lot of Danish people call themselves socialists, but some of us like to organize in big protests and strikes, and we think that's the way. We think parliamentary politics can do a lot, but it can only do so much.
Okay.
So we try to educate people and educate people about why capitalism are on its way out.
Yeah. And are there any examples of people getting close to this, or like small scale instances of revolution being successful that you can point to and be like, like this would be a good example of something I'd like to see done in Denmark?
Oh yes, actually, I mean in Denmark a lot of the things we are very happy about, like we have long holidays, we have fairly short work weeks, so on. It's strikes, it's worker strikes from 100 years ago, where people say, hey, we don't want to work 14 hours a day, we want to work 8 hours a day. We want our children to have free healthcare, we want free education, we want a nice society where you don't fall through the cracks every time you lose your job and so on. Yeah.
Now, I would totally agree. Like the social systems here are really good compared to like most other places in the world. What do you guys attribute to that? Like what kinds of principles make sure that people don't fall through the system here? Like how have you guys accomplished that?
Yeah. Well, So we still have capitalism in Denmark, but we have like kind of a softer capitalism. But I would say that most of the things that we are proud of now we have because workers, like all the people you see here today, went out on strike, put down their work tools and demanded, hey boss, we're not coming in tomorrow if we don't get better wages.
One misunderstanding, because I'm from the US and I have like a lot of American viewers, I think one misunderstanding they have is whenever they hear revolution, they think of like overthrowing the entire state or doing everything at once. Do you think something like a strike or something like workers walking out, are those like smaller versions of revolution in your mind?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You can. I mean, every time there's a strike on a workplace, it's a revolutionary moment. And I would say, especially when I think about your Amazon workers wanting to go on strike or wanting to unionize, or the workers at Starbucks, you know, it's very small places. It's a very small, like a cafe in maybe only a single city, but that movement and that the sense that ordinary workers can change stuff, it's amazing. And it's what all the socialist European countries, it's what they have done for 100 years now.
Yeah.
It feels great and it works, and it's better to do that than to just only vote every 4 years or something.
Yeah. One thing that you might be able to help with, coming from a country that's had a lot of success with strikes and with legislative reform, some of the people in America that I think give a bad name to like revolutionaries is they're kind of an all or nothing. They're not very happy with any legislative change. They're not happy with any small like revolutions, like, you know, striking at work or forming unions. They always feel like it's not enough. What would you say to those people to kind of encourage them to accept small victories?
Well, I think every small change is also good, but I would say it's often not enough, because every time you make a small change, then somebody, the government comes in, or we have a crisis, or we have there's a war now, so now we want to roll all those good changes back or something. All the rights we gained, people have lost them in Denmark, people have lost them in the US.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as long as we have enormous private companies controlling most of our wealth, then the working people, they are not gonna have a profound change in their life. So I would say small changes are good, but they can only do so much.
Right.
And small changes are good to educate people. Hey, okay, wow, we can do this, and now we want a bigger slice of the pie.
To kind of like see your power and know that you can do more.
It's an educational tool. I'm not gonna say that a single union in a single Starbucks shop is going to change the world, but it's very nice for people to see, hey, I can actually make a change.
Yeah. And it can give them some hope, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Denmark have done so on a larger scale, with only 5 million people, but it have worked pretty good actually.
Yeah.
And we want to expand that and not contract it.
Okay.
So.
And I guess to kind of end the interview, if you could recommend me like 2 or 3 books from here that you really, really like, and maybe a message to the people watching live that you know might help them be more, I don't know, amenable to the cause.
That's this guy Karl Marx. He has a book called The Communist Manifesto.
Yeah.
It was written over 150 years ago, and it was written to the factory workers working 12, 14 hours in a factory, and they could, a lot of them couldn't even read well enough, so they have to read them up to each other and so on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they could only do it in their very, very small amount of spare time, but they did it, and in some countries they actually made great changes. All the big parties are here to, they have like, it's it's where they come from. They come from these books, and it's the notion about, hey, you work for 8 hours a day and you sell products for an amount that's far greater than what you earn. And who earns it? It's the capitalists.
Right.
It's the two opposing classes in society. And we think it's still very, very relevant today. And it's getting clear when we see the very ultra-rich Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and so on.
Yeah.
It's getting worse. Yeah. And we want people to have a nice place to go to. We want people to go to socialist parties and not the other way around. We don't want to.
Yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah, that would not be good. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much for
Yes,
giving me your time.
Yeah. Nice to talk with you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
What's your name?
my name's Noah.
Noah.
Yeah.
I'm Silas.
One more
Silas.
time. Silas. Okay.
Nice
Cool.
to meet you.
If you want to look this up, it might be posted on a YouTube channel called Booksmarts on YouTube later. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it okay to put your name underneath, like under your interview? Okay. Awesome.
Silas.
And if do you want any other kind of affiliation under there, like the little thing that would say who you are underneath?
It's I guess I would be a member of IMT. So
IMT?
The International Marxist Tendency. It's an international group with thousands of members all over the world.
Okay.
And a big one in the US as well. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, thanks for talking with me.
Yeah,
Have a
thank you.
good rest of your day.
Yeah.
To the workers. Cool. Well, there you go, guys. That was cool. He was very, very nice. So there you have it. I think that's some enthusiasm, and I think a general demeanor that maybe we need kind of more of on our part of the online political space. So there you go. This looks more like a political thing than anything else. Ooh, lots and lots of beer. Beer! Let's take a look at this. Yeah, I thought IMT was International Monetary Theory or something like that. When he said IMT, I was like, oh my gosh, he's a turncloak. Stop the EF. I wonder what the EF is. I'm trying to find something in English for me to read. I can't quite find one. Oh, European Footian. Oh, no euro. Interesting. Oh, they're losing paper. Here, I'll help them. Thank you. Out of curiosity, is there anyone here that would be willing to give like a short interview on what you guys are here for?
We are against EU military. There shall be an voting in Denmark about Denmark shall join the EU military cooperation. We will not participate in the EU military. So we are voting against military cooperation in Europe.
Okay. And would anyone here be willing to give like a short interview away from all the music?
Yes. I think the guy, Lars, he will give an interview. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Where is he?
He is.
This man with the glasses?
Han ved du hvor Lars blev af? In a short moment he will be here.
Okay. Should I come back in a little bit then?
We will come back in.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll hear from them. I wonder what this is. Let's see. I'm going to try and see if I can find one maybe in English, because we have a lot of stuff in another language here. I wonder. Let's try and find... Hello. They're afraid of getting Steven Crowder? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let them say their stuff. Very interesting. This one's got a baby fist. Let's see if I can find anyone here. Ooh, there's a flag that's made it onto the ground. They're out here doing their own stuff and representing their politics and stuff. I think that's praiseworthy, whether you agree with them or not. And yeah, then you're gonna have to support, I suppose. Oh, interesting. Lagging as well. In a bad zone here. Folks that are anti-EU self-selecting for particular kinds of folks and stuff. Let's see here. We have more books. Yeah, sorry about any lag. There's not much I could do. Actually, there is. Hold on. Maybe, just maybe, I could clear everything else out of my phone. There we go. So now everything should be cleared. A few years ago, you'd expect blah, blah, blah. Clearly, the neoliberal deep state trying to stop this. No, I doubt that. There you go. There's a lot more books. Ooh, cool. It's like a communism, whatchamacallit, Superman t-shirt. These are kind of cute. Merch Pepe laugh? Yeah, maybe, bro. Hi. Out of curiosity, would anybody here be interested in doing like a quick 5-minute interview or something like that? Sure.
No, not really. Yeah, okay.
He's a spokesperson for
true.
Communist Party.
Oh wow. Okay.
Our local.
Are you cool with doing it here? Should we go somewhere that's a little bit quieter, a few steps away?
Whatever you want.
Okay. I'm cool with the here. Let's just get the camera set up and then give you your microphone.
All right. Who are you?
So my name is Noah. I run a channel called Booksmarts. Basically, I travel to a different place every month, basically.
Okay.
And this is my first month in Denmark, and I was lucky enough to come when this is happening. And
welcome.
I've really enjoyed a lot of the social systems here, and to help you give to people, including the poor or people who are unemployed. And I'm just interested in what people are here for, what they represent, what are the kinds of messages they want to get out to people in the U.S. and other places about kind of how to make the change that you guys are advocating for.
Yeah. Okay.
So we could start wherever you want. If you want to give a quick, summary. I know he said that you were involved with a certain organization.
Yeah. I'm a member of the Communist Party of Denmark, and I've been a communist since I was 18, I think. It's just the entire. Well, Denmark is pretty. What can I say? Social democratic and has a big welfare system, but it's all deteriorating. So people's safety and security is going away, and we want the focus to be on other things than economy all the time. So for people to be be entirely free, you have to have some sort of economic security.
Okay.
So we're Communist Party here, and we've arranged this scene here with all the tables. So it's
all of this.
Yes.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
Yeah. So it's a big thing for us every year on May Day.
Is the Communist Party like bigger here in comparison to other countries, or like how do you guys stand?
No, I think we're pretty small. Like some countries in Europe have quite big communist parties, like Portugal or Greece, been pushed to make. So it's actively deteriorating the social welfare. So it's difficult to pull them over and say, well, that time's over.
Yeah, it's time for more stuff.
Yeah.
So with that kind of deterioration, and as somebody who might know more about behind the scenes plans and stuff like that, what is the current plan to kind of take back that influence, or to push the Social Democrats in that direction?
Well, what can I say? It's just on every issue there is. The Social Democrats are ruled by economy before people, and we're trying to fight them on all the issues, both in different movements, but also on political arena in itself. And you can say in Copenhagen, we have just had elections for the municipality, and there the most left-wing party, I'm going to say, that is represented in our Congress, won Copenhagen, was the biggest party in Copenhagen, but the Social Democrats still took the office because all the right-wing parties pointed to the Social Democratic Party out of fear of the more left-wing parties. So we're still fighting, but it's going in the right direction. So yeah.
If you were in front of a room of all the people on the other side of the aisle who had been opposed to even the plans of the Social Democrats before, what would be your pitch to them to kind of have a change of heart or to see things a little bit differently? What would you say to them?
That's a good question. Usually we fight with people on the middle or the left of the middle, but what I think to not always fear your own economic situation. So if you're always afraid of not having enough money to pay your rent or having not not whoever you want to be and do what you want to. So if we make sure that there is some sort of economic freedom or security for people, then we can be free to realize ourselves, and it doesn't have to be like an extreme safety net. It just has to be a safety net that people can rely on. So we can start our own businesses or participate in what can I say, volunteer work or stuff like that, in order to take care of the elders or society or the environment, or maybe not be afraid to be sick at work or have kids that are sick, because then you might be afraid of getting fired. But if you have a substantial security net, then you can actually take care of your times like these when people are still a bit afraid of disease.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that approach with freedom. I think that might be good. So I heard you mention normally you're fighting with people that are kind of on your side of the aisle already and trying to get them to think about bigger picture things. At least where I come from in the US, I think a lot of conservatives who are talking about losing their jobs or the kind of instability they go through, I actually think they would be particularly susceptible to like maybe more communist ideals. Why do you think that there's a lot of focus on people that are on your side of the aisle, but not as much at trying to convince conservative folks?
I think maybe because in Denmark we have a lot of political parties. We have, I think it's 9 or 10 political parties in parliament. So party doesn't have that wider base. So if you are conservative or liberal in Danish sense, so not in the American sense, but a liberalist, what things are important to you. And usually, as a communist, we fight with socialists, or not fight with, but try to convince them to be a bit more radical. And changes to society in order to. So, but there is of course vote for right-wing parties are afraid of losing their jobs and their security, and I think we can do a lot for that position as a communist. And it's not communist like the Soviet Union or in the 50s or something. It's I always say, as a communist, you have to look at your own situation in your own country and try to evolve society from there to benefit everybody. And of course, you always start with yourself, because you experience the issues that are, and then you have to evolve from there.
So I think another thing is, on the internet, maybe even people watching this right now, there's a lot of people that are very interested in these issues, very interested in learning about them, maybe even like debating them and things like that. But they don't come out here and do what you're doing. They don't become a part of the party the way that you did. Hey, is there anything that inspired you to do that, or any message you could give to those people to get them more like politically engaged?
Well, yeah, it's a very big step to become politically engaged, but it's also about the community in it. So when I have 2 small kids, and at that point of life you don't have a lot of time to do political stuff. So I've been a lot with them and work, and then back home being a family father, and you have all to wife, but and I think that makes all the difference, actually being together, talking together, getting to know what we feel, and then acting together, like going on a demonstration together. It's not that the demonstration changes everything, but maybe just a few people's conviction, but we do it together. And I think that's important to build up a community in that way, by acting together and being together.
So the individual actions aren't nearly as important as becoming engaged with your community and being a part of a community, you're saying, and that should be their focus maybe, because it's maybe an easier step to talk to your neighbor or your spouse or somebody at work than it would be to like come to something like this.
Start out small. I'm also a teacher, and I'm not so, but and I'm not very successful in convincing my students of being communist. Not that I'm actively trying, but I'm actively trying to make them engage in society. And so it doesn't matter what political that they find, cutting the social welfare state. If that's what they find people that we can discuss with and get to know each other's viewpoints. So I have a lot of friends that are also conservatives and liberalists and everything, but I like them as people. Sometimes, and we can get in a political fight, but afterwards we're still friends. Right. It's just like it's politics, and we want different things, but I can recognize their determination and their will to actually make a difference in society, and I have the same determination. So we find each other on that point, and then we have to disagree on other points.
And that's really nice to hear. Before going out and doing more of these interviews and stuff like that, I talk to people who are really online. They do the online debates, or they do the online advocacy. They're far more divisive. I think they often lose sight of that we are, whether we're fellow countrymen or fellow, people inhabiting the world, I think they forget about that sense of community and that shared identity. And I think that makes them maybe become more, politically isolated, socially isolated, and that's going to bear out in worse outcomes, I think. So it's nice to hear that.
Well, I've done the social media discussions, and I'm definitely not a fan because yes, people become very divided, and you always end up calling each other Nazis or something like that. It's never productive. You never convince anybody, or you never get to know anybody. But like we have like the entire left wing and everyday issues, but to everybody can agree on something.
Yeah.
And I think if you meet people in your local community or your schools or whatever, then you can agree on something.
Yeah.
And that's a good place to start, at least.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Very easy, and then Grunwald.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, thanks. Is there anywhere else or any other people you would recommend talking to that might be interesting? Any other booths or anything like that? Everywhere seems to be food. I thought it would be a lot more.
Well, we have over here, and then I don't know. We have a lot of different stalls. Or what do you call it?
Do you know any of these youth people that might be good to talk to?
I could ask them.
Oh, sure. That would be cool. Awesome. Yeah, he's definitely a super friendly guy. Off teacher vibes, so that's interesting. I like that. I like his messaging to kind of start with the community and then move out from there. You know, to start focusing on what it is that you guys can all agree on, and then going forward. Awesome. Hello. Hi. On the internet, I'm Booksmarts, but my name's Noah. Hi, good to meet you. I travel around and I go to a new country every month and talk to people about politics and culture, and and I was so lucky that my month in Denmark, I'm here and there's this going on, and as a foreigner, as a tourist, I've very much enjoyed things like the metro or a lot of the social systems. Everybody I talk to, they speak their praises. So I kind of wanted to talk to people about their beliefs, why they're here today, what they would tell the people on the internet or people on the other side of the aisle if they had the opportunity to. So if you wanted to do like a quick 2 to 5 minute interview with 2 or 3 questions.
Sure, of course. I mean, I have all the time in the world, so.
Awesome. Well, here's this.
That's this.
Yes.
I'm in.
And then let me adjust it. He was very, very tall. Awesome. So I guess we could start. What is your affiliation? What brought you to today? That kind of stuff.
Well, my affiliation, fundamentally is Youth League of Denmark, which is just over there.
Oh.
And it was what brought me here today. Well, first of all, a decision for everyone from the other side of the country to go here. That brought me here.
Oh wow!
But apart from that, just a general wish to represent. I mean, this great movement that really believes in a better future for not only rich people, for not only the so to speak the bourgeoisie, but for
You're probably familiar with a lot of.
Oh, a younger person, yeah, sure. There are so many words. I definitely am.
No worries.
It's fine. Do you want to join? So, as younger people, are we familiar with the negativity online? Well, I would say we are.
Yeah, definitely. Like negativity online has huge impact because the dialogue gets mushed out, and it's hard to keep a proper grown-up rhetoric and dialogue. It just gets muddy and grim very often, and very easy even among people who are like-minded. Actually, I experienced as a communist online a lot of problematic dialogue with other very like-minded, like other communists or even anarchists. Because very easily you say one thing wrong and then it gets into a a fight like muttering too often, sadly.
I more or less agree. I mean, it very easily gets very barbaric. It goes from just being a proper discussion, just talking about stuff, and then suddenly it's just throwing out, oh, you're a tanky, you're a liberal, whatever. I mean, it's very partisan, I suppose. It's very much split up in you are only what you believe, not the person behind that.
So what do you think the solution to that is? Or like, what would you say to people that are doing that every day? They're going on Twitter, they're finding these minor disagreements and kind of hyping them up.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I mean, today we as communists, we've walked in front as we, just to toot my own horn, as we usually do. But we've walked with anarchists, with other socialists, so on and so forth, with people who are just here because they solely because they support Palestine, solely because they support Kurdistan, so on and so forth. People from all walks of life, from all different beliefs, and I mean, we even have centrists or right-wing people walking around here asking us questions.
Yeah.
Because, well, in the end, it's all about our common goal. It's all about this brighter future. This brighter future. It's all about this. So to speak, we can easily put our differences aside if we really want to. If we have something to unite around, which I would say should be the cause of the working class, the cause of the proletariat. I wouldn't say the beliefs of the proletariat, but yeah, the cause of opportunity to be who they are.
Yeah.
Somewhat lost your question, but that's something I.
Have you found yourself on the other side of like an argument online about politics on Twitter or on other places? Like
only too often.
That being said, do you feel like that's productive? Why do you think people engage in those so often? If so often they don't turn out very well. Like what do you think is like the psychology there?
I would say people are they have what I would call many people tend to have what I would call a sort of Redditism, talking over this and use or if Venezuela and 5 that shuts people down, but that's not an argument, that's not a discussion.
Right.
A real discussion, a true discussion, which I have very rarely found myself in.
Unfortunately.
Exactly. A good faith discussion, I would say that's the difference. A bad faith discussion doesn't lead to anything.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's barbarity. And a good faith discussion, that actually can lead to something.
What do you think like the main components or like the main characteristics of a good faith discussion are? Like what do you need to make it a good faith discussion?
An open mind. Definitely an open mind from both sides, of course, which you have to always admit, and that's something I, as a communist, am very proud of being able to admit. Self-criticism is central to everything we do, everything I do. And this ability to accept that, well, maybe I'm wrong in saying that, maybe I'm wrong in believing this or this or this. That ability, that, I wouldn't say skill because it's not a skill, but that willingness to accept that maybe I'm wrong. That's central. That's central to good faith discussion because it leads to being able to not only develop the other person, which of course that's in your interest, but more importantly being able to develop yourself as not only a person, but in my case as a Marxist. Be able to develop my point of view, be able to develop my argumentation. Because well, if I use wrong argumentation and it doesn't work, then I have to correct that. I have to self-criticize and I have to do something else next. So that's central. That's central to a good discussion. That openness of mind, that willingness to just be an actual human being who happens to make mistakes and have a wrong argument or
just like everybody else.
Exactly, just like everyone. Everyone but you has a wrong opinion. Sometimes you also have a wrong opinion. I mean that's something I think is the central thing, sort of tenet of a good faith discussion.
And I guess to kind of finish this off, is there any advice or any kind of like thing that you would want to say to people out there right now who are listening and maybe are politically educated or minded or they're interested in this stuff? Like, what would you say to these folks?
Well, I mean, I've been asked by one of my very good friends to finish off every single interview or interview-like thing by saying the people and only the people are the driving force behind history. But I won't say that. Well, I will say it, but I won't finish with it.
Too late.
This is over. But, no, I would say my message to people regarding everything in general is to just don't just accept facts. Don't just accept that. Now, incidentally, I'm a historian, so I mean, I know this more than a lot of people because I've been wrong a lot. I've had a lot of convictions and they've been proven wrong. And then as a historian and as a Marxist, those two things I would say are almost paired. But I would say the most important thing in general is to just, my most important piece of advice, I hope you will edit this because I'm just rambling.
We will.
Great. And then my most important piece of advice, I think, is just be open. Be willing to accept that, hey, perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps the other person's wrong. That all depends on not your convictions, not whether it's you or the other person saying stuff. It all depends on, well, more or less, I wouldn't say sources because that's another Redditism, just a source. It's more or less all about, I'm really struggling to find the correct word. It's more or less just about not being right, but being I would say sort of that idealistic. Now, as a materialist, I shouldn't say this. But that sort of idealistic opinion of, well, I might be wrong, and that's okay. I could be wrong. I have to let myself get convinced by what is most likely, based on what I am presented with, not from my own opponent, but from all of life. What's most likely to be correct. That's what I have to let convince me. I believe, not what the opponent believes, but what is most likely to be correct. And what I trust.
Yeah.
Most of all, what I trust, and everything, every single thing you ever do and read and see and hear, you have to be critical and you have to be a real skeptic, and you just have to go, is this believable? Yes? Then great. No? Then also great. Maybe just don't. Maybe then trust something that is believable instead.
Yeah.
I mean, don't just trust something because someone says you have to.
Well, thank you so much.
That was very long and very contrived, but it went somewhere, I thought.
It came to a conclusion.
Some sort of conclusion. I hope it did.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me. I really appreciated it.
I do as well. It was very nice. I mean, it's very nice to just talk.
Awesome. Would there be anyone else or any other booths you could recommend to go and talk with people?
This booth, I haven't been in this booth, but now I am in this booth. So this booth, that's very good.
Yes.
I love it.
Of course.
The booth over there with all those young people, including the person in that cap and the person without a cap. That's also me. But they're great. They have a lot of very good people. Our chairman is there right now.
Oh, I see.
And just beyond that is an Iraqi booth. That's also great. They have a lot of good points. just because that is the Korean booth. I very much advise you to go to
The North Korean booth, right?
well, it's not so much North Korean. The point is, I would very much like to talk about it.
So it's probably more like Korean unity, maybe?
It's also about Korean unity, and that's why they have a white flag with It's not so much about supporting North Korea, it's more about, well, we support the Korean people in their self-determination. I've stood there quite a lot today. and that's sort of the end all be all. Okay. We want the Korean people to have self-determination to be able to determine by themselves what is right and what's wrong, rather than the United States determine that for them.
Okay.
I would talk to me about it. The chairman of the Denmark DPRK. He's right there! He's right there!
Oh my goodness, we were just talking about you.
We were talking about
Korea. So before I throw a camera on you, so I do like an online live stream and an online show about politics and culture. Every month I go to a new country and I try to go to events like this to kind of talk with people and learn more. And I was wondering if you'd be cool with doing maybe like a 5-minute interview. Sometimes it could go longer, sometimes it could go shorter.
I could get
about Korea. So just about
I'm talking to everybody here. No discrimination.
So okay.
If there are other interviewers, just point them my way. I've not been interviewed apparently.
Okay.
I haven't been interviewed before today, but apparently I love it.
Oh, well there you go. I'm happy to have been a part of it.
Let's go this way.
Sure. Who would you recommend that I speak to, or what would be interesting to show people? Because streams, I try to take it a little bit seriously and show them things that I think are positive. And
it's a very nice project you have, because I've also thought about when people research countries, right? They get all of this superficial bullshit. Like Denmark.
There you go.
Are we beginning?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, just while you're talking, so they could hear you.
Yeah, that's fine. And is it live stream or?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hello guys.
Here, I'll flip it around for us.
But like, when people research countries, they get all this superficial shit. Like Denmark, it's hygge, it's some food, something that is not really, doesn't tell you about the country.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a communist. Surprise. And for me, that means that history is being made by the working class, at least in modern history. Or well, to say in a normal sense of the whole world history, then history is being made by the people, the broad masses. So Denmark is not some superficial food or some buildings or something. That's in every country. But Denmark is this. We've created in Denmark. We've created a welfare state through the working class who have fought for it, for their lives. And our fight against fascism, like the Danish communists, they fought for their life. They get
event like this, I love that I'm able to get out here, talk to people who are really passionate about their country, their people, the issues they want to solve.
Yeah.
Whoop. Yeah, and like I actually I usually find a host and I stay with them because they're more educated about the place. He actually recommended that I talk to the people at the Korean booth, and so it's incredible that I was able to find you so quick.
Well, the world is smaller.
Yeah.
But have you been traveling in a lot of countries then?
Yes. Though this is my first time in Western Europe.
Oh,
my first Western European country.
Very interesting. Just.
Oh, okay. Because at some point it's easier if I turn this around, just because. I'm not a buff guy.
I don't know. It's a very fancy thing you have.
Yeah. Let me just put this back onto me here, and that should. Oops. That's okay. I'll hold it.
Very nice. Then we can also see in the distance all of the booths and people and scenes.
Yeah. All right. So, if you want to give me a basic intro to who you are, what you represent, maybe the basic bullet points of, what you're here to communicate to people.
Well, my name is Nikolai, and I'm 18 years old, so I'm very young. Well, I'm here today because I'm a communist, and much of my life is dedicated to the communist cause, the revolutionary cause. And that doesn't mean revolution like you have to take a weapon and go out on the streets. It means that you have to build a strong movement, a people's movement, with the goal of uniting the working class
and in the end overthrowing the capitalist system. That's the end goal. Because currently Denmark is a capitalist country.
Yes.
When you Google, I know in Americans, such Bernie Sanders, they said Denmark is socialist and we have a welfare state and all of that. But, you know, this welfare state is being financed by heavy taxes. In a socialist country, we would have welfare without heavy taxes.
How do they accomplish that?
People do that at least. The working class is the most broad class, so to speak. And capital has nothing to do with the state. It's a second structure, so to speak. But the state that's being made in Denmark is not a worker state by any means. But in the early days, the Social Democrats dominated it, and said, their mission was to create this welfare state by taxing capital and the market, the capitalist system, and taking some back to the working class. And they tried to do that, but in the long term, and we see that very now in Denmark, how the very same Social Democrats who were back in power back then and gave us universal health care and all of that, they are pulling it back now because suddenly we can't finance it anymore because the capital is in crisis globally.
Okay. And at your booth, at the Korean booth, what is it that you guys? Because like I've heard it described to me by other people who barely know about it as like, oh, it's the North Korea booth.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys there talking about?
It's a fun thing because, like, if you see the booth, it is it's North Korea booth. Because that's it gets people to come. It's radical and it's very controversial also. But our association is nothing like a support club for North Korea. We have some very neutral political goals, like we want to remove sanctions from North Korea, we want to increase the cultural cooperation and stop the demonization of the country. Because I believe that every country in the world, the people there are people. We are all humans, no matter how the system is. So the way that media in both Denmark and the US and in general all over the world describes North Korea is out of proportions. It's like the people are just brainwashed and it's just Kim Jong-un who rules it all, and that's not the case. That can't function in any place in the world.
So are you guys advocating for like Korean unification or
that like, also on a neutral basis, like no foreign interference. We believe that in order for this reunification to happen, we have to drive out all of the American troops and bases in South Korea.
So that's like goal number one.
Yeah.
Is it a frustrating obstacle having a person in charge like Kim Jong-il? Like, is that frustrating for what you're trying to advocate for? That people will look to him and be like, well, I actually think step one is getting rid of this person, or like maybe their lives would be better if he wasn't in charge. Like, how do you deal with that? And is that like frustrating to deal with?
I wouldn't say so. I don't believe that the one at fault here is the North Korean leadership. You can criticize them for some decisions, definitely, but I believe that Americans are the cause for reunification not to happen. Not American as the people, definitely not. American leadership, right? Capitalist leadership. Because like when Trump tried to go to North Korea, he was a unique person. He was a bit crazy. He did some very interesting things, but he could never accomplish Korean reunification or easing the sanctions or anything like that, because the American establishment, the capitalist establishment, the monopolies and all that, they won't allow it. They want to crash socialism.
I'm gonna turn you this way just because if the mic points that way, it might chat. So I'm just going to kind of play devil. I think that's undeniable because of how much influence they have. A change in North Korean leadership would benefit the people.
One note. This is my last comment because I really have to go back to the booth.
Yes, of course.
But I believe there was that. I believe that the leadership still enjoys the support of the masses.
And do you think that people support that leadership then?
Yes.
Okay.
They're not breaking. They're very close. Direction taking. There's a democracy in the way the people view in Korea, but in general, they aren't like we have to overthrow Korea or something. That isn't the case.
And one last minor question. So if people wanted to get more information like that, to hear about the dissenting opinions of the North Koreans, where can they hear about that? Like, what? So you said that the North Korean people are critical of their leader for sure, but that's a result of what they wanted because of their revolution. Where can people read more about that or hear more of the North Korean perspective? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of sources. And many people don't think that people like me and the Korean, us in the association, has any sources or claims. But we have a lot of sources. I can't point towards one, but it's a lot of links, and I don't have them on me.
Okay.
But, I can say that if you follow me on Facebook, for example, Nikolai.
There you go.
And I'll answer any question if I have time to it, of course. I'll send you the links and all of that.
Awesome. Would you be comfortable with me walking back with you and just talking about you as a person, or
do
you have
to the toilet first?
Oh, of course. That's why you're out here. All right. Bye. Thank you. So we put him on the spot. I think he had to really go to the restroom. So that makes sense. That's probably why he was walking out this way. Lovely place, great people. Yeah, I really like Denmark. So I'm going to try to get away from the music. It seems like different groups sponsor different parts of this event. So over here, you can't see nothing here. Let me try to get around here. So it seems to me that different parts of this place, like this whole corner over here, that place over there, it seems like they're sponsored by different groups. Like I think I think his name was Bryan. I think Bryan was telling us that people have kind of sponsored the corner over there, the communists have sponsored it, and then maybe over here it's something different. We'll go ahead and work our way over to the North Korean booth just to show you guys so you can see what that's all about. I will be honest to Nikolai though. Nikolai, if you're watching this, I do think that if you were more willing to be open to the idea that Korean leadership in the North needs to change in order to benefit things, I think you should be as quick to say yes to that as you are to say that American leadership is to blame or needs to change their policies or their people in order to benefit the Korean people as a whole. If you're looking out for Korean people as a whole, I think it's very clear that the North Korean leadership is a part of why unification is so difficult. I don't think that kind of putting that to the side is necessarily something you have to do to advocate for the positions that he's trying to advocate for. And I think that might be hurting him. Are you coming to the UK? I don't have any offers right now, but if you would like to host me there, then for sure that makes it easier. Or if you could show me around your city, if you, I think I generally try to go with a place where I have a lot more people who have said yes to either meeting up or hosting or those sorts of things. So if I hear from people in the UK, maybe we'll go there after our 90 days in the Schengen zone, but right now I just don't have anybody, so. What does he want to do about Kim? Well, I didn't ask him that, so I'm not sure. But I'll try and get us to another booth here. Maybe we'll talk to the Euro people, or no, we should definitely go to the North Korea booth, or the Korean booth, I should say. Not the North Korean booth, the Korean booth. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, let's check this out first. Sorry if my mic is blown up. I don't have a good way of recording loud audio, so apologies. I was told the Korean booth was over here, but I don't see. I guess that's North Korea colors. Huh? I don't see where the Korea booth is. I mean, I can keep looking. I'm having to use my left arm. Sounds like when Haas yells into his mic. Well, that's what it sounds like in real life too. Let's see if I can find it. I actually have no idea where that dude came from. I think this is all food. So I'm having to use my left arm because I had to use my right arm to hold the the gimbal like above my head to talk to Bryan, because Bryan was very, very tall. Lots of Danes are tall. I think on average they're taller than their American counterparts and stuff, so that's been something to get used to being here. Let's see. But this Hancock Kavalitet, I don't think is a place that I can... The gimbal... Bruh. It might be this DKP. Hi. Do you know where the Korean booth is? I'm looking for it. What? The Korean booth? Oh, this is... So this is the Korean booth too? Okay. Are you guys selling the pins?
We are.
Oh, okay. How many crowns? 15. Okay. They're kind of cute.
They are very cute.
Do you know what this represents here?
I think it's a magnolia.
A magnolia, and is that like the flower?
I'm not quite the biggest scholar on flowers.
I think this is the same one you have, right?
This one is, yeah.
I think this one's really cute. This would help me remember the event.
It's 50 kroner.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get one of these then. And I do thank you for spending your time talking with me.
Of course, it was very enjoyable.
And he's a very well-spoken guy. Yes.
That's the reason he's our chairman.
There you go.
We don't have a card reader, but mobile pay or cash.
Unfortunately, I only have American money. Sorry. I'll put this back. I'll try to see if I can find an ATM or something then.
I don't know Copenhagen very well. I was from there, but if you, those two, they're brothers. They're from Lucas.
Jeg ved det faktisk ikke. Jeg ved, der er en netto.
It's just bad.
Okie dokie.
I don't think it will be a big problem, but I just don't know how it works. So exchange shit like that.
No worries. I'm gonna go find more people to interview before the battery runs out, but I'll circle back around to here and maybe talk with you more. Awesome. How late is everything open until? How late is this open until?
5:30.
5:30? Okay. Then
6.
Okay, I'll be back.
I think we'll be in Philippa until like 7 because I'm going to drink. So
Oh, that'll be fun. I'll stick around for that.
You're welcome to drink with us. I mean,
that would be fun.
We're a hoot to party, right? I just have to say that we're a hoot.
I hear Danish culture is known for its drinking culture, so
we are definitely the Danish youth is the youth in Europe. At least it was in 2019 that drank the most, but got injured the least.
You're the best drinkers then.
We have a very good drinking culture. we get used to it from age 12 or so.
Oh wow! So you start training early?
Yeah, just going. Oh well, Mom, can I please just taste your wine? So, yeah, we have a good culture about it. That's why we get into it. But yeah, my favorite people to drink with are members of the community. We're lovely.
Then I'll come back then.
You're welcome.
30%, I'll go get the most I can out of it. Thank you. I will try. There we go. She seems very cool. I've enjoyed talking with her. Yeah, you can buy alcohol. approach us to talk, and then go off of that. We'll go explore the Svenska, bro. As long as I'm in Denmark, I adhere to Danish prejudice, okay? But the second I cross the border, I'm a chameleon to the country that I'm in, that's for sure. I think it's all silly. I think you guys are so similar that it's a bit silly to focus on all the differences, but hey, you know, that's your deal. Let's go and see what they're all about over here in this corner. We'll see if maybe there's anybody to talk to. Kind of choppy? Yeah, it's going to be choppy. There's absolutely nothing I can do. So if you're commenting on it, there is something you can do though. That's donate and support the channel, you little shits. If you donate and support the channel, then I can put some of that money back into buying us more equipment. The gimbal I think was like $100. The microphone system was $300, and everything else that I've kind of put into this. So, I mean, I am putting money back into the stream, but wow, it's loud here. We'll just kind of walk past because of this. Sweden? Absolutely not. Let's walk out this way. I think there's booths at the very entrance of the park, so we'll swing by there. Maybe I'll grab a beer and stuff after. Tribute band, the microphones. Yeah, actually, I keep seeing the memes about the gimbal. I have no idea what you guys are whining about, though. If I'm being quite honest. Tribute band, the microphones. It's very sad I don't have any cash on me. I'll have to like find an ATM and grab some. Honestly, I haven't used cash the entire time I've been in Denmark, so like I just use my card for everything. It's very unfortunate that the communists don't have a proper payment system for digital, but you know, it happens. But I mean, like, sure, sometimes I do fight with this gimbal a little bit, but I think the gimbal helps a lot. I think if you watch the very first IRL streams we did, where I'm jumpy and the camera is bouncing around with my walk, like, I think the people that were here earlier, when I didn't have this stuff, kind of understand why this stuff is helpful. Canadian Kiwi before Australian? I think 12 krone is like $1. No, 7 krona is $1. So if it was 15, that means it's just a little more than $2. But yeah, so that's the conversion. If you see prices listed, that may give you a sense of where things are. If Swedes what? We're not talking about Swedes, bro. Stop saying God bless the gimbal. I feel like you're being ironic, but I don't understand why. The gimbal's working fine today. Unless I watch this back later and realize it was doing something funky. But yeah, like the interview with Bryan would not have been possible without this. Questions while I have battery left. Off stream. And maybe get I replied to Twisted. Oh, okay, I see. Sorry, because I can only see the two most recent chat messages at once. Let me turn off the other microphone. 2. There we go, that should be off. All right, you guys want to go for a little walk around Denmark? I see people with those neck braces on when they ride the bicycles. I have no idea what they're for, though. I should have asked the guy we went drinking with 2 nights ago. He would have known. I'm just gonna run across the street. Oh look, modern art. Are you coming to Stockholm this time around, Book? That entirely depends on the people of Stockholm. So if somebody has an offer to host me, for sure. If I don't have an offer to be hosted, then negative. They're inflatable helmets. Oh. Yeah, but how do they work as helmets? If they're inflatable, why aren't they wearing it on their head? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, oh, they're airbags for your head. Oh, so if they detect that you fell, then they'll poof up and save your head. I see. I got to admit, I think they look a lot more doofusy than a regular helmet. I don't know why you wouldn't just wear a regular helmet around then. Like, they kind of look silly. They look like you got those like cancer sacks or something around your neck. Oh, Thai food. When you fall, it automatically becomes a helmet. You know what would be cool is if they had a helmet that just like stayed a helmet all the time. A huge ulcer around your neck or whatever. A tumor. They're called hoveding. Some of the people maybe not represented in the nonsense that we've been going to today. I think we're heading in the wrong direction. I don't think there's anything out this way. Maybe... Oh, I don't know what to do. We'll go this way again. We'll just walk back. But yeah, no, I wouldn't think. Yes. I mean, that lady was the first lady that I've seen riding around with one. I've seen them on boys. And for boys, I feel like if you just put product in your hair, you can just mess it up when you take your helmet off. I don't know. But yeah, maybe if you don't want to mess up your hair and you're a girl, maybe it makes more sense for women. But most of the people I've seen wearing them are men. So, I don't know. Oh, that Thai food looks so yummy. But I can't. I need to find a place to sit down and talk with y'all. The other side where we started from was more, I think, more set up for chilling out and talking. I think unfortunately this side that we found ourselves on is less so. Let's, well, if you've never seen Denmark before, I suppose this could be interesting for you. Or Europe. Let's see. I don't know where we would go. I'm trying to find something I could prop you guys up on. Alright, I think I found it. I'll just show my ass to people, it'll be okay. And then I'll have a little bit of a chat with the chat. Oh yes, this will work lovely. Lovelily. Alright, let's I will turn the camera around, get out my dingleberry here. Hey, what's up? 2 seconds. Hui! Let me get this out. Unzip it. Looks like I got the sun behind me, so maybe that'll be a little less helpful, but I'll clean the screen and we'll be good. I've got a little tripod mount on the bottom, so I'm just gonna screw that onto your guys' people body. Your people body is so fancy, the transhumanists would be very, very impressed. I'll say that. Oh, of course, with this rail in the middle, my tripod will not work. Wonderful, wunderbar. I think that'll be okay. I could probably sit here and chat. Oh, I'll just hold you. I'll hold you guys like little babies. Like little babies. Hi. Let me clean off the lens a little bit there. That absolutely did not help, I don't think. All right, hello. Hi, Bookie. Yo, what's up? So yeah, I think I had a fun time. I think I'll have an even more fun time when I hang out with those people, and that'll be chill. How did you guys like it? Is there anything I could do better? Is there anything that you didn't like about it? I know that we had some choppy connection, like I've said before. The way to fix that is going to be to have multiple SIM cards and send stream to a computer. Provider just sees the connection's lost, so they'll restart the whole thing. However, if you send it to a PC at home, like you're just sending your video like you would to the streaming provider, but it goes to a PC and then the PC sends it to a streaming provider, the PC never loses connection. So the streaming provider will keep it live for the whole time, and when it cuts out, it'll just go to like an offline screen, but the stream won't stop. So that's kind of the next step in this IRL evolutionary process. And that's something that will be in the future, because it'll cost like $800. Not only will I probably not be able to use my phone anymore, so I'll probably need a GoPro, I'll also need an encoder, and I'll need a mobile Wi-Fi router, and I'll need SIM cards. So, you know, it's definitely possible, it's doable. It's not like some exorbitant amount of money like the $2,500 that you would have to pay for like a gun run backpack, but it's definitely something that is in the future. And Lemonies, good to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day out. It's less pretty than it has been the last 2 days, but still, I mean, it's good enough to be out here. You have enough sunshine to work with. Cloudy, but not awful. The weather's fine. It's not too cold, so I'm happy to hear that you appreciated the interview questions. I'm just trying very much so not to be adversarial, right? Like, you know, I don't want to have problems with communist people or Marxist people, and I don't have problems with them, right? So it's about asking questions that doesn't make me feel like I'm super hostile to them, and really gives them an opportunity to kind of talk about the stuff that they believe in and the stuff they're out here to talk about, right? I want to be able to put out the best version of whatever it is that they're trying to talk about, while also kind of preempting the kind of problems people say. Are you in Denmark? Yes, we are in Copenhagen today. I kind of liked it when you pushed the North Korean guy. I think that if he's an 18-year-old, he knows social media, he's going to this event, so he understands like public pushback for his beliefs and stuff like that. So for the North Korean guy in particular, I think he's expecting that, so I felt more able to give that pushback. Now, I found it unfortunate that we didn't get a clear answer to things like sources, or a good answer, in my opinion, to things like the leadership problem. But yeah, let me know if you're bored and want to hang out. Lana, Lemonies, if you want to come out here, come to the park, and I'll meet up with you. That'll be cool, for sure. So if you want to come out here, you want to go drinking with the North Korean people, I would love to. That's arena. Leave because there were some people that were representing like political parties and stuff like that, or people that were a part of the EU separation thing that I didn't really get a chance to talk with, and that I think it'll be difficult to talk with because I think there was a bit of an accent barrier with the one fellow who was willing to speak with us, but I think it will be possible if I go on my own. I think so look forward to that, because it's a stupid idea. Well, I mean, look, I won't pretend like I understand all the intricacies of like the EU or currency or whatever. So, I mean, it's easy to offhandedly say it's a dumb idea and to attribute a lot of positive things to the EU and whatever, but if I'm being real with you, I don't really know about that stuff. I don't know why everybody believes that the EU is better or whatever. That's not to say that their side has equal weight of being correct, right? I don't want you to come away with this thinking that. But what I'm saying is like, I'm not instantly dismissive of people around the topic that around their ideas. So I don't know, bro. I don't. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Yeah, because I don't want you to come away thinking like I'm anti-EU or that I think that the anti-EU people have just as much, just as much of a leg to stand on as the other people. But I don't know anything about the topic. Another thing. I guess we talked to one party member who was like a helper for the Communist Party, but I certainly didn't get to talk to as many political people as I thought. Our host here in Denmark has mentioned to me that there would be a lot of political people here. I may have even been able to speak to like a political, what do they call it? Like a representative or something without knowing it. So, I thought maybe we might be able to get lucky and see that. The reasons for staying out of NATO. It's ceding power and autonomy to an entity in which we don't hold as much sway. We've always been alliance free. See, that's the angle that, hi, all the police in the car. That's something I could understand. If you have a principle of freedom and autonomy and whatever, then I could see how you're against like the EU in principle. But I think oftentimes positions that we find to be crazier or like politically not viable come from a place of you have some kind of principle that's guiding all of your decisions. And that's also why I'm careful about you guys always going with this idea that's popular on Twitch politics of having an idea of principles and then building all of your opinions and stuff off of the principles, because I think sometimes it lands you in a water where you're never going to really be politically effective or you're never really going to get stuff done because you have like principle differences that lead you to conclusions that are kind of just way off the mark and not going to be something you could do much with. I think when it comes to politics and stuff, maybe it's a lot easier to, first of all, operate within what you can accomplish, and then second of all, maybe talk with and connect with people in your community and then build off of what's possible with them, right? I think like people that believe in like the libertarian movement in the United States and make all their voting decisions based on that leads them to vote for some like weird stuff that normal people wouldn't really be down with and that they can't really build a whole community out of, because there's going to be things that go against that principle, but in a particular community people know it's going to help them, right? Like there might be some regulations that are necessary there might be some regulations necessary to maybe fix things that are going wrong. Like if you have a bunch of new building or new constructions that are like falling down, maybe you want to put in new legislation around inspecting buildings before they go up or something like that, and your libertarian friends are like, no, vote against it because we're principally against regulation. And you're like, dude, as much as I'm against regulation, I don't want buildings falling on people, and then you lose them, right? Because you had these principled positions that led you to vote for things that are just not really like practically viable. I agree with that. I'm more for realpolitik, to be honest. Most Swedes have accepted EU as the status quo. Yeah, like even if you're against it, I think you accept that, and then if there's a large movement to change it, maybe you jump on that bandwagon, which I guess they would do with things like, what do you call it? Maybe with Brexit and stuff. You guys jumped on that bandwagon. People pass, or do they know it's pointed this way? Yeah, I feel like this time I did better on the interview stuff than I did last time. So I was happy to see Lemony's comment on that. I don't like EU, but I still think it's an exceptionally bad idea to leave. Yeah, and I think that's okay. The lesser evils thing. I found it interesting talking to the Marxist or the communist guy about online politics, the very first guy with the glasses, because I feel like I thought I could get him to be more on board with like small scale changes and whatever, but I didn't get the kind of like enthusiastic response that I thought I could get from him to tell you guys to be more on board with whatever electorally you're able to get accomplished. So that was a little funny. And with the North Korean guy, just out would be more palatable to people, but I kept running into this wall of like, oh, okay, no, we seriously have like a fundamental difference of beliefs on stuff. So let me read this here. Yeah, so interesting. I'm surprised that we're on YouTube, because I really did think that on YouTube it gave me some big error and said that we weren't live on it. So we always have YouTube problems here. Is the audio cutting out for anyone else? Is it? It shouldn't be. I mean, it could be that I'm covering the transmitter, so I'll put the transmitter on my arm. Yeah, he was a revolutionary socialist. He said he didn't agree with other socialists because they weren't revolutionary enough. It's such a tough thing, dude. Such a tough thing. Audio is fine here. Okay. Well, it might be the VO Megalol D YouTube losers. There's so many of these police vans going around. There it goes. Book streaming from a Nokia. No, the front camera on this phone, I think that the dude that installed it may have used like a fucking something shitty. The live dot is going red to gray. It might just be dipping every now and then. Oh, it is. It for sure is. Wait, why do we only have 1,000 kilobytes a second? Wow, the connection is dipping a ton. Here, let's move somewhere else then. They're coming to get you, Buck? They're coming to get you, Barbara. Nah, I don't think they're coming to get me. Let's put this shit away. I mean, I only have 17% left, so fuck, dude, that kilobytes a second's going way down. Greek God X smarts? Yeah, nice. Oh. Danish police cars are scary. They're too dark. You can't see it's a cop. That's not all of them, though. Because I saw a few earlier that all the windows were clear and like the police were like staring at me. So I don't know. It might be that this tower is overloaded. We could probably go somewhere and get a different tower. I'm happy I didn't see a ton of police at the event. I think police in situations like this where you have a lot of anarchists and communists and stuff, I think they're more agitators than they are like keepers of the peace. From what little I've seen of this event, it seems like the leftist people can keep their shit under control on their own. I don't think they necessarily need the police here to do a bunch of shit. Man, connection is so bad here. Yeah, I'll try to move us. Hey, I just noticed you shaved your beard, looking good. Thanks. What do you think about the stash? I can't quite grow a proper one, but I'm trying, bro. 1st of May is very peaceful, though. Yeah, it is. I think some of the anarchist stuff is a lot worse. Man, our kilobytes a second is so trash. What is going on here? Stuff is opening on my phone without me clicking it to open. Huh. Maybe my phone's hacked. I'm compromised. But yeah, if we had 2 SIM cards, I don't think this would be that big of a problem. But alas, I don't. So let's see. I'm trying to figure out where to go. I think if we just get another tower to reset. Now, I was at Syndicalist stuff earlier today and it was very calm as usual. Okay, that's good. It's good to have peaceful places, peaceful protests, peaceful workers' day. Spirit of communism possessing your phone, yep. I'm giving my bandwidth to the masses. We're all sharing the bandwidth. It'll be interesting to watch it back and see, okay, yeah, now we're back at 3,000, so maybe just on this rock here. same setup as the San Diego one. Yup. We got a gimbal. We got the Rode Wireless Go 2. And then I think that's just about it. I'd like to point out and highlight the cable situation because it took a very unique, this is kind of gross. Anybody see a spot for my fat ass? Maybe over here. Oh, now it even looks choppy in my preview window. Okay, I'll just sit on this here with 7,000 years of nastiness. Oh, I don't have. Where the fuck is this sun, dude? Move it this way? Oops. That's a lot of goals, yeah. Well, how are you guys? Yeah, our kilobytes a second is definitely better here. But if I had 2 SIM cards, it wouldn't matter because it would just double the bandwidth that I'm using. So even if it was at 800, they'd still get 1600, which I think is good enough for the bandwidth. We'll work up to that. We'll work up to that. There is no sun. There is no sun. There is only clouds, dude. Only clouds. Watching a cute little dog run around. But yeah, I think this was fun. I think we got to talk to a lot of really cool people. I'll probably do my sign off because we got like 10% battery. I'm book smarts, you know. I'm a dude with a lot of book smarts, a lot of reading. I used to help people ghostwrite and edit their college papers. I still do from time to time to make a quick buck here and there. But you know, I'm book smarts. I'm out here to acquire street smarts. We visit a new country basically every single month. I meet up with people there. I get a cool host who knows a lot about the place whenever I can. And then I share that information with you guys. There is a whole explanation of what this holiday is, what the red flags are, what the history of this event, both in this country and around the world is. It actually originates in Chicago, so if you're an American and you could give a bother less about foreign stuff, just know it's about us. We're in the story. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and go to the beginning of the VOD. I'll have it timestamped as soon as I possibly can, which will probably be late tonight when I get home. But yeah, I hope to keep doing this. I hope to keep going IRL and showing you guys where I go on my travels and having you kind of push me to go out and explore stuff and put a camera in places where maybe y'all have never seen a camera put before. Thank you for taking me to Forced Homage, hearing your perspectives in the comfort of my home. There you go. Yeah, you don't have to come out here and hang out with the anarchists and the communists and the Marxists and whatever. You could just live vicariously through me, and that would be the idea. If you would like to support this channel, whether it's on the stream or off the stream, subscribing, linking your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and hitting me with that monthly free subscription, I'd very much appreciate it. Donations. Whether I'm on stream or off stream, you can always donate. You can do !dono for the link, or in the YouTube VOD channel description, you can go down there and there should be a link as well. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep putting my money and my time, my energy into showing you guys this stuff for as long as it's entertaining for me and entertaining for you. So if this is the kind of content you want to see more of, please support it. And if you do an offline donation, let me know what it was that inspired you to do that. Was it you want to see more of these kinds of political, cultural events? Was it you want to see more of landscapes and scenery like we had in the last IRL VOD? I don't know. Maybe you just want more debate reviews and you're like, I'm sick of this, dude. Just give me some debate reviews. I need it. I'm down bad. Just let me know. Loving the IRL streams, book. I'm happy you are. And I hope to keep making them better. I hope to keep improving them on the tech side, on the content side, on the questions side. I'll definitely be watching back today's VOD and looking for, you know, a better way of setting things up. So, you know, expect these to get even better in the future. And once we have a proper setup where I have like a battery for the phone and all that stuff, then we can go for even longer, because right now I'm at like 9%. I think my gyroscope thing, my gimbal, is like almost out of battery. So, you know, we're fairly limited on how long we can go live for. I try to squeeze every last drop out of it, but it is what it is. And to the V Omega Little D losers, today is, I'm supposed to do a whole intro thing for the YouTube. I don't know what today is. Oh, today's May 1st, obviously, I'm a dumbass. What's up, the Omega Lol D Losers? Today is May 1st, and we are at the International Workers' Day celebration in Denmark, Copenhagen. So yeah. No, what's your problem today? Come on, guys, we need some terrible... I can't. There's no way I could connect Discord and do it. But yeah, if you don't know what Tato is talking about, if you look at the last VOD, and it's already timestamped on YouTube, we have a new segment I'm going to keep doing called What's Your Problem? And we bring on people who are either being aggressive chatters or have a problem with one of my takes or something else about the channel. I bring them on and I try to patiently walk through what their problem is, as if I was like a help desk worker on the phone. So that was fun. I definitely want to do more of them. I think they make good content. I also think, as another chatter said, it's a good demonstration of how to be patient and kind of put some of the things that I ask you guys to do in your debates and whatever into practice. If you're just patient with people, if you don't raise your voice, if you don't get super dickish, then I think you can arrive at the points where you agree to disagree, or you kind of realize what's going on with the conversation without needing to be inflammatory or needing to make things worse. So yeah, needs more Brooklyn style. Nah, that's aggressive. That's too aggressive. Good idea. Now people will pretend just to talk with you. Sure. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we'll start putting a time limit on it too, like 5 minutes or something. That way if somebody is being goofy, then I could just get them off the line. But I mean, you know what? If a handful of people want to pretend and whatever and help make content for everybody else, and that gets 20 more people in the door who become subscribers or who join the Discord and join one of our many clubs, whether that's music club, movie club, anime club, whatever. I mean, is that really that bad? I don't think so. So, I mean, if that's their MO, they're really just helping the channel in some way. So, I don't have that much of a problem with it. It did happen once, but they did stop right away. Not aggressive, just think, what would George Costanza do? No, I'd rather not. I don't think that gives me super great, answers to life. But, yeah, like, I don't know. If people want to goof, then they'll goof, and, I'll still try to handle it. You know what? I think a lot of the time in life, some people that are incredibly goofy and incredibly aggressive, we think that they're goofing, and they're really not. They're really just that crazy. So I think even if you think they're goofing, even if you don't believe it, you probably have that instance happen a lot in your life, and it's not correct. Somebody's actually serious when you think they're not being serious, because you just think their position is ridiculous or their approach to it's ridiculous. So yeah, I don't know. I'm here for the goofs. Well, then there you go. Hope y'all have had a good stream. I can't raid because I'm not on my computer, but pick a cool stream. Have a good rest of your day. Think about the stuff that you heard today. Maybe it'll give you a different impression of Marxist, communist, whatever. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. But I'm gonna go talk to those people, have a few beers with them, and enjoy the rest of my time here. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good rest of your day. Bye. This has been Copenhagen, Denmark. Have a good one. And I'll end YouTube as well.